Okay, so good morning, everyone. See, in the last class, we were discussing about the rule-based classifier. See, a rule-based classifier is a classifier that will be performing classification of test records using if-then rules. Okay, so as I explained the definition in the last class, see, a rule-based classifier is a classifier that will be classifying the test records using if-then rules here. Okay, and we have seen, see, what are the metrics that we can use in order to measure the performance of a rule-based classifier, and then we have seen how this rule-based classifier is going to work. And apart from that, I was explaining about the two more important properties of a, rule set in case of rule-based classifier, that is mutually exclusive rules and then exhaustive rules. See, mutually exclusive rules are nothing but the this property, every record it will be covered by only exactly one rule. Okay, so every record must trigger only one rule at a time. Okay, so and exhaustive rule means that, see, for every record there will be at least one rule that is going to cover that record, that is exhaustive rule. So exhaustive rule means that, say, every record will be covered by at least one of the rule in the rule set. Okay, so then I explained, see, suppose if you do not have the that is mutual exclusive properties satisfied in a rule set, then in order to avoid the ambiguity that we will be getting, that is, if a same record, if it triggers two or more rules at a time, then we will be having ambiguity or we are unable to assign the class level. So in order to solve that problem, say we have got two, that is, methods in order to that is order the rules here. One is, we can have the ordered rules here, and second one is unordered rules. So in case of ordered rules, all the rules in the rule set, they will be ordered according to their priority. Okay, so in the decreasing order of priority, we will be ordering the rules here. And suppose if you got any test record here, if this test record, it is going to be covered by the highest priority rule, or it will be covered by the highest ranked rule in the rule set, because the rules will be ordered in the decreasing order. And coming to the unordered rules, so in case of unordered rules, we will not be having any ordering of the rules here. They will not be ordered according to their priority. Instead of that, see, each time a test record is going to trigger the multiple classification rules here, we will be considering it as one count or a vote for that class. Okay, so each time the test record is going to trigger the rule here, or it is going to cover the rule, then we will be considering it as a one count or one vote for the class level. Okay. So we'll be assigning the class level to the test record which is having highest number of votes. So the rule that is having highest number of votes, that will be considered as a class level to this test record. Okay. So now then, what are the advantages of using this unordered rules then in case of rule based classifier? So one of the advantages, it is less susceptible to errors. It means that it is not going to produce many errors here, because see, as we use the that is a vote as a measure for assigning the class level here, so it will not produce many of the errors here. So the rule that is having highest votes, that will be assigned as a class level, so it will not produce many wrong kinds of that is assignment here in order to classify a test record. So it is less susceptible to errors, it will be producing less errors here. That is one advantage. And second advantage is, in case of unordered rules, if we use in the rule based classifier, then model building will be not much expensive here. It will be incurring less cost here for building a model, because these rules, they are not ordered in the priority level in case of unordered rules. So it will be very easy to build a model here in case of unordered rules, so it is less expensive. Now coming to the disadvantages. So here, see, whenever we want to classify a test record, it will be quite expensive here, because see, we must compare the attributes of the test record with the precondition of every rule. That is the thing that we will be doing in case of rule based classifier. That is, we will compare the attributes of the test set with the precondition of the rule. Okay, so but that thing will be very expensive here, That is, classifying a test record is very, very expensive. That is one of the disadvantage of unordered. Okay. So this is about the measures that we can use in order to overcome the problems that is caused whenever we do not have mutual exclusive property. Okay, so either we can go with the ordered rules or unordered rules. Okay, so now coming to the next thing, that is rule ordering schemes. See here how we can order the rules. I mean, which rule is going to appear at the top, and then which is the second rule, and then third rule, like that. So in order to order these rules, we have got two schemes here. Okay, so one is we can implement the rule by rule scheme, or we can order the rules using this rule by rule basis, or using the class by class basis. Okay, so these are the two methods which we can use in order to order the rules which are present in the rule set. Either we can implement the rule by rule basis or class by class basis. I will explain what is the difference here with the help of this example. Okay, so if you look here, see here, this is a rule based ordering scheme, and this is class based ordering scheme. See, in case of rule based ordering scheme, see here we are ordering the rules using rule quality measure. Okay, so we'll be having some quality measure here. So using that, we'll be ordering the rules here. So here individual rules, they will be ordered according to rule quality measure. Okay. And one more thing is, see here, if we use this rule based ordering scheme, okay, so every test record, it will be classified by the best rule here that is going to cover it. So every test record that will be presented for classification, that will be classified by best rule that is going to cover it. Okay, because since they are ordered using rule quality measure here, we'll be using some rule quality measure in order to order these rules. Okay, so since we are using that, so this scheme is going to ensure that the every test record that we have got, that will be classified by the best rule that is going to cover it. Okay, and one more thing is, see, coming to the disadvantage, see, I told that we will be ordering the rules here using quality measure. Okay, so that is, good quality rules are going to appear at the top, and then low quality rules are going to appear at the bottom. Okay, so since we are ordering the rules using the rule quality measure here, sometimes the lower ranked rules are very hard to interpret here. Lower ranked rules means the rules that are going to appear at the bottom. Okay, so they will be quite difficult to that is interpret or understand, because see, we will be assuming that the rules which are appearing at the bottom, they will be having that is rule antecedent negation of the rules that is appearing at the top. See, the rule antecedent or interpretation of this rule will be considered as negation of the previous rules. For example, see, if you consider the aquatic creature is equal to semi implies amphibians, then this rule is going to assume that, okay, so that vertebrate which we have got, so it is not going to have any feathers. Okay, so we will be considering the negation of all these rules for interpreting the lower quality rules or low ranked rules here. So if you consider this rule, aquatic creature is equal to semi implies amphibians. So then the interpretation of this rule is going to say that, see, the vertebrate which we have got, okay, it is not going to have any feather. See here, skin cover is equal to feather. So we need to consider the negation of that. So it doesn't have any feathers, and it cannot fly. Aerial creature is equal to s means it is going to fly. So it cannot fly. We need to consider that. And then body temperature is warm blooded. So here it is given, but negation of this will be cold blooded. Okay, and then say it will be considered as aquatic creature. Okay, so that is the negation that we will be assuming in case of lower ranked rules here. So lower ranked rules, they will be considered as negation of the higher order rules or high rank rules here. So since we are that is ordering the rules here according to the rank or the quality measure, so higher ranked rules will be appearing at the top, and lower ranked rules will be appearing at the bottom. So lower ranked rules, they are going to be very difficult to interpret, or it is very hard to understand this, because they are going to consider the negation of the that is precondition of the previous rules. So negation means, for example, if you consider this rule, aquatic creature is equal to semi-employees amphibians, then it is going to assume that this vertebrate, it doesn't have any feathers, and it is not going to fly, and then body temperature is cold blooded, and it is semi aquatic. Okay, so like that it will be assuming the characteristics here. Okay, so suppose if the number of rules is large, then the interpretation of the rules that will be appearing at the bottom, so again it will be very very difficult task. Okay, so this is one of the disadvantage of that is rule based ordering scheme. So in case of rule based ordering schemes, we will be ordering the rules, each and individual rule, using some rule quality measure. So we'll take some rule quality measure here. According to that, we will be ordering the rules. So obvious is that, say we will assume that high quality rules will appear first, and then low quality rules will appear at the bottom. So one of the thing that is going to be ensured using this scheme is that, see, every test record, it will be classified using a high ranked rule or best rule here. That is going to cover it. But the disadvantage is, see, if we consider the lower ranked rules here, they are very, very difficult to interpret because they will be assuming the negation of the rules that is going to appear above them. Okay, for example, if you consider aquatic creature is equal to semi implies amphibians, then it is going to assume that it is this vertebrate, it doesn't have any feathers and it cannot fly, and body temperature is warm blooded, and it is semi aquatic, like that it will be assuming. Okay, so and one more disadvantage is, suppose if you got large number of rules, then the rules which are appearing at the bottom, they will be very very difficult to be interpreted, or it is quite difficult to understand the meaning of the rules that are lying at the bottom. That is the disadvantage. So this is rule based ordering scheme. So now coming to the second one, class based ordering scheme. So in case of class based ordering scheme, all the rules that are going to be have same class, they will be appearing together. Okay, so if you see here, see, birds they are appearing together. Okay, and then mammals we have got, and then amphibians, and then we have got reptiles, and then fishes. But here in case of rule based ordering scheme, we didn't have any of the that is rules that are having same class level to appear together. They didn't appear together here. See, if you see here, birds is appearing here, and one more class that is birds, it is appearing here. Okay, and then amphibians is here, and then amphibians is here. So there is no grouping of the rules that have got the same class level. But in case of class based ordering scheme, all the rules that are having same class level, they will be appearing together here. Okay, so the rules that are going to belong to the same class, they appear together in the rule set here. Okay, and say sometimes, say these rules which are having same class information, they even can be sorted. Okay, so using some sorting mechanism, we can sort the rules which are having the same class information. Okay, and one more thing is, say it is not necessary that say you need to rearrange the rules that are having same class level. They can appear in any order. Okay, so this birds which is having these features, it can appear here. Okay, and this one, it can appear in second place, or this second one can appear in the first place. So they can appear in any order here. There is no relative ordering among the rules that are having the same class level. Okay, and see, the disadvantage again is that, see, if we consider the class-based ordering scheme, see the high ordered, high quality rules. Okay, so sometimes they may be overlooked here, because since we are using class information here, okay, and all the classes they are appearing together, sometimes the high quality rules, they can be overlooked because of the low quality or inferior rules here. Okay, so since we have ordered the rules according to the class information here, sometimes it happen that high quality rules, okay, so high quality rules, they may appear at the bottom here sometimes. Okay, so because they are ordered according to class informations here, because of that reason, we may overlook some of the inferior or low quality rules here. Okay, so this is one of the disadvantage of class based ordering scheme. Okay, so you try to remember here. See, for ordering the rules in the rule set, we have got two methods or the mechanisms. So one is using the rule-based ordering, and second one is using class-based ordering. So in case of rule-based ordering, see all the rules, they will be ordered according to a best quality measure here. We will be using a quality measure in order to order the rules here. Okay. And in case of class-based ordering scheme, see all the rules which are having the same class, they will be appearing together here. That is in case of class-based ordering schemes. And one more thing is, see here, in case of rule-based ordering scheme, see the rules are going to consider the negation of the precondition of the previous rules. So because of that, say sometimes, say we may feel it difficult to understand or interpret the low quality rules that are appearing at the bottom. And in case of class-based ordering scheme, see the disadvantage is that sometimes we may overlook the high quality or high priority rules here because of low quality or lower order rules here. That is the disadvantage in case of class-based ordering scheme. Okay. So now coming to the next thing, that is about the how to build a rule-based classifier. See, as we know, in case of rule-based classifier, see, we will be extracting the rules here, set of rules here. So in order to extract the rules, we need to find the relationship between the attributes of the data set and the class level here. So if you want to construct or build a rule-based classifier, so you need to consider what is the kind of relationship that is going to exist between the attributes of the dataset and the class level. See, as we know, in case of rule-based classifier, the rules will be present. So the rules will be containing the attributes and the class level. So that will be in the implication form. On the LHS side, we will be having attributes, and on the RHS side, we will be having a class level. So obviously, in order to construct a rule-based classifier, you must understand, so what is the kind of relationship that is going to exist between the different attributes of the data set and the class level here. So in order to build or in order to extract the classification rules here, we have got two methods here. So one is direct method and second one is indirect method. So in case of direct method, we will be extracting the rules, classification rules here directly from the data. So directly from the data means we will be using algorithm here in order to extract the classification rules from the directly from the data. In case of indirect methods, so in order to extract the classification rules, we will be constructing the decision trees and the neural networks here. So as I explained in the previous class, that is about the decision tree induction algorithm. So in case of indirect methods, first we will be constructing a decision tree or a neural network. From that decision tree and the neural network, we will be extracting the classification rules. So it is indirect method. So in case of direct method, directly from the given data, we will extract the rules here. In case of indirect method, we will be extracting the rules from the classification models. First, we need to construct the classification models like decision trees and the neural networks. From that, we will be extracting the rules here. Okay, so now coming to the first method, that is a direct method for the rule extraction. Okay, so see here, as I said, in case of direct method, we will be extracting the rules directly from the data. We will not construct any decision tree or a neural network here. Instead of that, directly from the data using the algorithm, we will be extracting the rules. So the algorithm that we will be using in here in order to extract the rules is that is sequential covering algorithm. Okay, so this sequential covering algorithm, say it will be following a greedy approach here in order to extract the rules here. Okay, and it will be having some evaluation measures. See, once it extracts the rules, it will be using the evaluation measure in order to evaluate the quality of that rule. So remember this one. In case of direct method, we will extract the rules directly from the data. We will not construct any decision tree or neural network here. Instead of that, directly from the given data, Okay, we will extract the rules using some algorithm. So one of the algorithm that we will be using to extract the rules directly from the data is sequential covering algorithm. So this is the algorithm that we will be using here. And here this sequential covering algorithm, it will be following the greedy approach. So in order to extract the rules, and also it will be using some evaluation measure to evaluate the quality of these rules. Okay. So now coming to how this algorithm is going to work. So see here, this diagram is showing a sequential covering algorithm. See this sequential covering algorithm, actually it will be extracting the rules in a class by class basis order. Okay, so each time it will be extracting the rules that belong to one class. Okay, and then it will be extracting the rules later that belong to the second class. Like that it will be extracting. So each time it will be extracting a rule that belongs to one class at a time. Okay, so sequential covering algorithm, see it is going to extract the rules that belong to one class. See, after finding the rules that belong to one class, it will be extracting the rules that belong to the second class. So for example, so see here I was explaining in case of class based ordering scheme. So we'll be having birds that are having the same class, they will be appearing together. And then you've got mammals, amphibians, and then reptiles and fishes. So here all the rules that belong to same class, they are appearing together. So the sequential covering algorithm, see first it will be extracting the that is rules that belong to the birds class. Okay, then after finding the records or the rules that belong to one class, then it will be finding the rules that belong to the second class, that is mammals. And then it will be finding the rules that belong to amphibians, and then reptiles, and then fishes. Like this, yeah, each time it will be finding the rules that belong to one class at a time. So here for the vertebrate classification problem, it will be finding the rules that belong to birds first, and then mammals, and then amphibians, and then reptiles, and then fishes. So each time it will be generating or extracting the rules that belong to one class. And then after finding the rules that belong to one class, then it will be finding the rules that belong to the second class, third class, and then fourth class, like that. See, all the rules that belong to one specific class will be extracted at a time. Okay, so now coming to this algorithm. So see here, input is a set of training records, that is capital E, and A is the set of attribute value pairs, that is AI comma VJ. That is attribute value pair here. This is the input. So E is the set of training records. Okay, and then A is a set of attribute value pairs. Okay, that is AI and VJ. And Y naught is a set of ordered set of classes here that contains the class labels Y1, Y2, YK. So E is the set of training records here, and E is, will be containing the attribute value pairs here, that is AI and VJ. And Y naught is a set of classes here, Y naught, Y2, and then YK. We can now see here this rule set R, it will be containing the set of rules at the end of execution of this algorithm. Initially, we will be considering this rule set as empty. See, this is the initial rule set or the list here. Initially, it will be empty. So as I said, this sequential covering algorithm, so it will be extracting one rule at a time. Okay, so for each of the class level Y, okay, that will be belonging to this that Y naught. So Y naught is the set of that is classes. Okay, from that we will be extracting this YK. So YK is nothing but each time the class level that we have chosen. So for example, for vertebrates, see birds we have considered. Okay, so for the birds, we will be extracting the set of that is rules here. So initially we'll consider this class level, that is birds. Birds is considered as Y here, and then Y naught minus YK is subtract that birds from the given list. So remaining set of class levels here. Okay. So this Y that belongs to the remaining set of class levels. See, we will be repeating this algorithm until the stopping condition is met. Okay, while stopping condition is not met, do learn one rule from this training set of records and attribute value pairs and this class label Y. Okay, so as I said, see, each time we will be extracting one rule at a time. So in order to generate one rule at a time, so we have used one of the function, that is learn one rule function. So this learn one rule function, it will be extracting one rule at a time for each of the class here. So first time, for example, it will be generating the that is the rule for the class birds, and then we can have mammals, and then amphibians, reptiles, and then fishes. So like that, first time it will be generating the that is the rules for the class that is birds. Okay, so for that, for generating one rule at a time, so we are using a function that is called as learn one rule. Okay, so once we find the rules that belong to this that is class, one of the class, we will remove all those records, okay, from this E that are covered by this rule, because again we don't have to generate the same rule, okay, for the next time. Already we have found the rule here, so no need to consider those uh, training records here. Just remove those training records from E here, because if you keep the same training records in this set of records, again we may generate the same rule. Already we have generated the rule, so we do not have to consider the same set of records again. So just remove it from the list of training records here, that is E. So next, once we find this rule, we will add that rule to the rule list, that is R. So we will consider the disjunction here, R disjunction R. So capital R is the rule set here, and then small r is the rule that we have discovered, and that will be added to this rule set, that is R. So R employs R disjunction R. Okay, so this is the greedy approach, or we can say iterative approach, that will be followed by a sequential covering algorithm. Okay, so again it will repeat the same thing. For example, once it finds the birds rules, okay, that is we have got two rules for the birds. Once it finds that, later it will find the rule for the that is mammals. Okay, so that is second rule it will generate, and then next, after finding that, again it will go to the next rule that is related to amphibians, and then to reptiles, and then fishes. So like that it will be generating one rule at a time, so until we are going to meet the stopping condition. Okay, so for each of the class level Y, that will be belonging to the set of classes here. So until the stopping condition is met, we'll be learning one rule at a time from this training set of records and attribute value pairs, and for this class level Y. So once we find that rule, we will remove the training records from this set of training records. Okay, that is covered by this rule, and then we add this rule to the rule set. Okay, so it will be iterating until we have met the stopping condition. Stopping condition is nothing but here. See, until we find the rules that will be covering all the records that belong to all the class levels. So at that time, we'll be stopping here. Okay, so once we find all the rules here, okay, that are covered by the training set of records here. So later we'll add one more rule to the end of the rule set, that is the default rule. So default rule, as I said, suppose if none of the rules are covered by a record, then we must have a default rule, because if we do not have a default rule, then we will not be able to decide so which class level should be assigned to a set of records here. So in order to avoid that, so we'll be having a default rule here. So default rule will not be having any precondition, it will be empty, and then we'll be having a default class level, that is YK. So this will be added to the bottom of the list or end of the rule set here. Okay, so once we find all the rules, so this is a sequential covering algorithm. So try to remember this. See, the sequential covering algorithm, so it will be finding the records that belong to one class at a time. So each time it will be generating one rule. So once it generates the rule, it will be removing the records that belong to that rule. So later it will be finding the second rule until it is going to find all the rules, or until the termination condition is reached. Okay, so once we find all the rules, at the bottom of the list we will be having a empty rule that will be used, suppose if none of the rules are triggered by the record here. Okay, so one more thing is, see, I can explain this with the help of one diagram here. So see here, so as I said, in case of sequential covering algorithm, so we'll be covering one rule at a time. Okay, so here, so initially we have got this original data. This is the original data. See, for this original data, uh, this sequential covering algorithm, see, it will be covering all the positive examples. So all the positive examples, it will be considered as one rule here. So that is going to be covered by the rule R1. Okay, and all the other records which are not covered by this rule, they are considered as negative examples. So positive examples are nothing but these are the that is records that are covered by the rule. Okay, so if you observe here, see this, we have grouped the records here that are positive examples and that will be covered by rule R1, and the records that are not covered by the rule, they are considered as negative example here. That is, negative examples are present outside this, that is rule R1. So we, in the first step, we have found the rule R1. So next, again, we will search for the positive examples which are near to one another. So if you see here, these are the positive examples that are nearer to one another that we will cover using the rule R2. Next, again, we can go for the, again, third rule, that is R3, that is going to cover this positive example. So this sequential covering algorithm, see, it will be finding the rules, okay, that are covered by the positive examples, okay, and it will be leaving those records, okay, those are the negative examples that are not going to be covered by this rule. Okay, so once it is going to find such a rule, okay, so once it finds that, it will remove those records. So these positive examples will be removed here if you observe. Once the rule is covered by those records, again it will search for one more set of positive examples, okay, this one. So once it finds that, again it will remove those examples. So like that, each time it will be generating one rule at a time. So positive examples are nothing but, so it is the fraction of records that is covered by the rule. So for this one, so if you see here for this R1, these are the set of records that is covered by this rule R1. And for the rule R2, these are the set of records. Those are the positive examples, and remaining are considered as negative examples. So like this, see, each time it will be finding one rule, okay, that will be covering some set of records. So once it finds that, it will be removing those training records. Okay, so one more is that is learn one function, learn one rule function. So this learn one rule function is actually used to extract the classification rules one rule at a time. So we'll be generating one rule. Okay, so once we generate one rule, as I said, we will be removing those records from the set of records, and then we will be finding second set of records. So this function is actually used to generate one rule at a time. Okay, so that is a learn one rule function. Okay. So this is about the algorithm which we will be using in case of, that is, direct method. Okay, so next topic, so better we shall discuss in the next class. So just wait for 2 minutes, I will take your attendance. Okay, so now you can log out. So we shall continue the next topic in the next class.